The Jeep helped defeat the Nazis. A rugged, no-nonsense off-road vehicle was instrumental in taking down Hitler. That's a pretty great origin story. That's Captain America's origin story. And like Cap, the Jeep's popularity after the war only increased as more people got a chance to experience one of the world's first true SUVs. After decades of production, the Jeep felt less like a rugged machine and more like a bunch of compromises. But that changed with the current iteration. And with that, Fiat Chrysler, the parent company of Jeep, decided to do something great. And that's reintroduce the Jeep Gladiator. It's a Jeep, but it's also a truck. So it's at home off-road as well as picking up lumber from Home Depot. And sure, it's ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in the best possible way. Up here you have the Jeep Wrangler, the quintessential mountain crawler. It has the iconic grille design, the latches for the hood. You can fold this windshield down. You can take off all these doors. All these doors are removable, but if you walk back here, you have a truck bed. You can go to your local hardware store, you can pick up some gravel, some lumber, maybe even a nice outdoor dining set. What's interesting is that truck interiors went from being completely utilitarian to, in some cases, mirroring luxury vehicles. For $33,545, the Gladiator finds a happy medium in there. It has the requisite handles here on the A-pillars and in the front passenger seat, but it also has an infotainment system, dual zone climate control, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and USB ports to charge your devices. Sure, it's all rugged, but it's also everything you would expect in a modern vehicle that just happens to be able to drive up the side of a mountain. But most drivers will spend their time in this truck doing this, cruising around on paved roads. And for that, the Gladiator is actually a capable on-road, truck. It has adaptive cruise control, which is something you wouldn't think of before on a Jeep, because Jeeps are rugged and off-road, but this has it. You can set your cruise control to a speed and it'll track the car in front of you, no problem. Now the steering, it's still a Jeep, so it's about as tight as a bunch of junior high kids in a punk band. That's not saying, you're not getting any sort of feedback. It just takes a lot of steering for something to happen. And it doesn't feel like you're giving up the ability to drive on road for the ability to go off-road. The 3.6-liter V6 engine spans the entire lineup and is more than capable both on-road and off. It outputs 285 horsepower and 260 pounds of torque and can tow 7,650 pounds. That's a best-in-class boast that should make those with trailers happy. The Gladiator ships with a 6-speed manual transmission, but most people are going to opt for the optional 8-speed automatic transmission, which I've been driving around both on-road and off. It's great. But if you're like me and you're a driving enthusiast and you think everything is better with a clutch, you can get that. And everything is better with a clutch, except for gridlock. Horrible, horrible gridlock. Regardless of your transmission choice, the seats are comfortable both in front and back, and there's plenty of head and leg room for 4 adults. Plus, there are enough ports for everyone to keep their phones charged so they can share their Jeep-related adventures on Instagram. I will say that on the highway, and just in general, the car has more road noise than your typical new vehicle. And it has to do with the fact that, it has these big tires, but also these 2 panels right here, you can take them off. Just take them off. Convertible truck. Just pull this latch here, turn these. Now, it is easy, but it is definitely not graceful. Here we go, hold on. Boom, convertible truck. And if you're so inclined, you can actually take this back portion off as well. To do that, you need this handy set of tools that actually, it comes with the car, and this rather humongous owner's manual that tells you how to take everything off, the doors, the windshield, and this, and tells you things about the car like driving and how to use all the other features. So let's do that real quick. So we just go in here, freedom doors, rear hardtop removal, Page 103 of 7 million. Oh man. All right, so there's 1, 8, 10. I gotta take a left. I got the Y. You know what? I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm just gonna leave this on for now. That inability to put anything anywhere when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you just really wanna, like, you know, let the sun in, kind of ends up happening with the panels above the front passenger seats. Now you have a bag. They do give you this bag to put it in, so it keeps them nice and safe. But then where do you put it? You can't really put it in the back of the car because they'll slide around and probably scratch them up. So you kind of end up putting them in the back seat, which sort of sucks for the idea of having more than 2 people going on a trip and pulling the tops off. So the hardtop option is great, but you really have to plan ahead if you want to drive around like a convertible. This hardtop is an option. The stock Gladiator comes with a soft top, and if you live in a region where you're not too concerned about harsh weather, that might be the better option for you. If you do decide to put things in the bed of your truck, which that's the whole point, you can cover it up with this. It Velcros here. It's a cover that actually rolls up, and you can roll it back out. It latches right there. Close your tailgate. Bam, no rain, no issues. And if you need to really reach in there, you can kind of lift it up in this little part and, you know, pull out a soda or something. If you don't want to put your things in the back and you want storage that's, well, hidden away, these back seats, they fold up. And there's like a little compartment back here you can put things in. You can put a little backpack in here. I can put another one in here. And you have the option of buying a case that closes and locks. So if you have something valuable, you want to leave it in your car, you can just lock it back here, and then thieves are none the wiser. The back of the cab also has another fun little surprise, an optional removable Bluetooth speaker. So you drive out to the middle of the wilderness and you want to kick out the jams, you're ready to go, and it's back here being charged, well, all the time. There we go. All of this is evidence of the work Jeep did to meld the DNA of the Wrangler and Gladiator with the technology drivers expect from their cars. That includes how it handles itself off-road. You still have to manually shift the Gladiator into four-wheel drive high and low, but once it's in low, you can set the descent mode and manually adjust your downhill speed with the shifter. So we're going down a pretty treacherous hill, and right now I'm in four-wheel drive high. So now I need to put it in low. So put in neutral, down the low, put it in drive, and then we use descent mode. Adjust the shifter. We're in first gear. Now we're in second gear. So the top speed is 1.2 miles an hour down this crazy hill. And if I want to go a little bit quicker, do it again. Now we're doing 1.8, blistering 1.8 miles an hour. It's not fast, but it's safer. And instead of using the brakes, what the car is doing is it's actually using the engine to slow itself down. So the engine is only turning the wheels just ever so slightly to get us downhill in a safe way. Because if we were going down this hill regularly and we put the brakes on, we could start to slide, and that's bad news, because then you take off the brakes, you go fast, you put the brakes on, you slide, and it's, yeah. Plus, the Gladiator has 11.1 inches of ground clearance, and it can traverse water up to 30 inches deep, which is outstanding if we, happen to come across a river at any point. But I've been driving this Jeep all day on these trails, on these roads, and it's been great. And even with the longer wheelbase, I've had zero issues with it bottoming out. It just continues to impress. And then later, I actually will be going to a hardware store to buy some wood. So it's good for both. If you get the Rubicon edition starting at $43,545, you also get a front-facing camera to see where the trail ahead of you goes, and electronic disconnecting sway bars to help you navigate over highly uneven terrain. Sadly though, that Jeep wasn't available for our tests. So we'll just keep rolling over stuff and heading to the hardware store with this Gladiator. But we won't be able to buy as much stuff if we choose the Gladiator over other mid-sized trucks out there. The Toyota Tacoma starts at about $26,000, and the Ford Ranger will set you back about $24,000. The Jeep truck, it's $9,000 more just to get it off the lot. But it's more capable than those two vehicles. And have I mentioned that you can take these hardtops off and these doors? So essentially you're paying a premium for fun and adventure. And to me, that's money well spent, even if you're not quite sure where you're gonna put these hardtops when you take them off. For more automotive coverage from the middle of nowhere, be sure to subscribe to Engadget.